What up? It's your boy Zeals. We're back and we're gonna finish the Tower of Oblivion today. And before I do so, I want to share, this son of a bitch monkey who got so lucky with 68 orbs in light and dark. He pulled 2 EAs, a Faith Blade, and Amuvor. What's going on? And so I used some of my orbs for swaps. I got to such following heroes. Anyways, we cannot have a video without a beer opening, so here we go. I'm gonna get open this Korean beer. It's called Cast. There's like a two-way opening system. Alright guys, so it's open. We're gonna go over the fights. Before we do so, let me take a sip. But while I do take a sip, let's enjoy that cruise stun right there. 6 for 6, right? I mean, that shit is sick. Anyways. Alright, so, of course, MVP of that fight was Moge, my bane, doing work right there. And Cruz with that sick stun to pretty much stop the entire damage from, King Barton as well as those 3 triple scaries. And the next round, this team was pretty easy, right? Cruz again, look at that 6 CC, like, what's going on with Cruz? Like I said in my last video, when I was doing towers, like, 500 to 517, man, like, Cruz never activated his stun. I don't know what's going on in PvE, like I said. His stun is working well, so I hope you guys incorporating Cruz, of course, in your towers. I got a question from someone saying, why don't you use Heart Watcher? And Heart Watcher, of course, she's great PvE, but in towers she only covers 2 targets with her mark, and she doesn't really survive to mark all the targets. Because my Heart Watcher is a low star, she's only 6 star, and even if I did use the fodder and the promotion stone, which I'm very in, like, in need of right now, I don't have that many. And even if I did, 10 star my Heart Watcher, she's still too squishy to effectively spread as much weakened debuffs with her mark as Cruz can. Cruz can do it better even at 9 star. Anyways, the rest of the clip, this clip right here, Valkyrie is doing work, and you're gonna see a little bit where DA seriously just pretty much kills himself or kills herself just by CCing Valkyrie repeatedly. Alright, let me take a sip here. Not much is gonna go on with this fight, and just alright. So through my tower journey, a lot of people were wishing me luck and giving me motivational speech about how, like, I finished off all the easier stages, that I'm in for the finishing stretch. And while I do agree, the Asmo stage, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, the 548, was a real pain in the ass for me. But in terms of other stages, they were enjoyable. All that needed to happen was, of course, Cruz got a weekend off in most scenarios, as well as Scary DM burst combo. And if they did not get the job done, it was Valkyrie and LittleTino damage over time or overload combo and the tankiness being able to take it into the later rounds. And that really helped out. Of course, the piece that held everything together was Belrain. Her heals are amazing, and I know you guys love, like, Vesa and all of that stuff, and Ormus as well, but Belrain really does a very good job in healing. And as I said about that Asmodel stage, I just couldn't get, like, through it. I did use some gems. I was like, I just wanted to finish. People were like, oh man, you're not gonna be able to kill this stage and blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I was motivated. I was like, you know what? Let's freaking do it. Let's finish it. I need to use Cruz as fodder anyways. And I couldn't beat that Asmodel stage, no matter what artifact or the way that I had set up with my heroes, because I only have E1 Scary. What I decided to do was, you know what, I need some armor pen. Like, Asmodel is rocking too much defensive, and as soon as I leveled Wolf and I had all the material ready and all the gold, of course, as you can see, and I got that Wolf in that team, and as soon as I got into the combat, like, I was able to pretty much clear it, one-shot this stage. It became like look how easy it was. Just like, look at Scary and Moge just chopping them off, and by the time the Cruz, the stun went off. Like, the stun went off from Overload. It was just Overload wasn't really needed because everything was pretty much dead. And of course, like I said, Valkyrie and LittleTino, they just synergize so well together. They're so tanky, especially if you cure them correctly. They're able to, like, take it into the later rounds with Belrain and Beer, just healing themselves up. But right now I don't have Beer, I have to use Wolf, so pretty much Belrain is my dear. She's holding it together. And of course, Valentino did go down, but Valk was up to finish it. And that was my last hurdle. And I'm freaking done with the towers. The last two stages were hilarious. Like, look at this fight, right? I did fail this one, but I just want to show you Valkyrie in position 1. I was like, you know what? There's 4 DAs. I gotta put, Valkyrie in slot 1. And look at what's going on. Every time she's hit with the CC, she immediately heals for 20% of her attack, as well as at the end of the round when it starts into the next round. So at the next round, the dot damage ticks, and then the healing over time ticks. So she's able to sustain herself and do tons of damage. Like, look at the enemy team. The dark force is just melting away because she's eating CCs, right? I mean, imagine this like pre-nerf, like when it was ticking for 3 rounds, or actually 4 times. It would tick 4 times. The last passive, it ticks immediately, and then at the after the round ends, it ticks, for 3 rounds. So it's like 4 ticks. But even post nerf, like Valkyrie slot 1, I did fail because I didn't have enough rounds. Pretty much, I didn't have initial burst in this early stages right here. It was important my Scary and Dasmo do as much damage, and Valkyrie will finish the rest. But it was almost like the same scenario of situation. Like, the rest of the team goes down, that's fine, as long as they do enough work. Then Valentino as well as Valkyrie in slot 1 being shut down is fine, because every time she's shut down or hit with the CC, and all the dark heroes in that lineup, Sleepless included, does a petrify. So it's pretty much they're melting themselves. And like I said, every time she's hit with the CC, she does an immediate healing of 200% of her attack, so she's able to sustain herself. Actually, she's able to even gain more health than before that round began. So look at her, like, she finished the fight full health. And wait a minute, yeah, I did lose this fight, and I guess this one is where it all goes down and I beat it. But yeah, pretty much Valkyrie, use her to your advantage. Remember that being hit with abundance of CC like Valentino stage, like I showed in the last video where she was constantly stunned, was able to still heal herself up even through the damage, as well as do damage while CC. And even post nerf, it's enough, as long as in round 1 and 2 the rest of the heroes do enough damage to make sure they get the ball rolling, right? Like you see here, by round 9 there's only 2 sleeplets left, and even though she's CC'd, if she gets an active off, 1 active off is pretty much 1 sleepless dead, and that's all that is needed. So she's going to get an active off here, and of course it does immense amount of damage, and by round 15 she's able to take it home for the home team. Alright, so the last fight was Faith Blades, and the strategy that I used here, as you can see, I'm about to load it up, was I had trouble where Faith Blade with basic attack, like you see right now, and basically I was using Cruise, and when I used Cruise, the problem was that because Cruise was the only 9-star for me, he would die from the basic attacks from Faith Blade, and if he dies, right, the Faith Blades all gain that passive where they gain full energy as well as holy damage, so they're able to do actives and stun the rest of my team, either stunning them or killing them. So what I had to do was, for once, sit Cruise and make sure that Scary was able to take all the basics and not feed enough energy to the opponent team, so that Faith Blades don't get off their active attacks to stun or kill my heroes. And after that, it was easy peasy, mech, just over. And all in a day, I was able to finish, and I did some broken space afterwards. That's a picture of my Bane, that's Moge, doing some work. And I'm sure you guys have gotten way better scores than me, but I don't really engage that much or get excited over broken space, even with this nerf and the rankings removed. But I'm still doing it for those glory holes, or whatever you guys call it, like golden shrimps or golden cabbages, whatever you guys call it. I'm just doing it for that. And while I was doing it, I was having fun. And I did change pet now that I did level Wolf. And I should have done it earlier. Now that I've done so, the bleed synergy from Moge is increasing his damage by like triple folds, right? That sounded kind of weird, but I tripled his damage pretty much from like a 200 or 300 million damage in this lineup to doing about 700 to 800 million. And of course, the armor break helped as well, and good synergy with the rest of the heroes. And the reason I used Valkyrie instead of Valentino was because of the attack reduction. Why do I need attack reduction? when none of my heroes are dying right now because Heart Watcher is only 6-star, and you know my story why she's only 6-star so far, guys. Alright, so anyways, that's the whole role of Valkyrie. There's synergy, right? Belrain's giving attack boost, healing, Sigmund's stripping the armor, as well as doing some damage. Scary is pretty much for that attack steal as well as Valkyrie's attack steal and attack reduce. And Scary also does scary damage with correct artifact. And Moge here, he's using the Crit Stone, of course, and the dildo, I mean not the dildo, but the Staff of the Punisher, the Immortal artifact. I probably got the order of the artifact wrong, but anyways, there's I don't know, 1 billion, 1.1 bill. It looks like it. Anyways, that's a lot of damage. Moge doing some heavy work here and really helping me do these events, and I'm really thankful for, you know, finishing my Moge. And yeah, I got enough elite shards. I open it, I get a freaking queen, and I just gave up. I was like, screw this, man. Like, my RNG sucks. And that's why I'm having a beer tonight. You know, toast to you guys. Hope you guys have a good evening. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned and subscribe as well. See you guys. Peace.